Welcome to Big Run Creations. Today I'm making one of my husband's favorite, Sloppy Joe. And this is not the ordinary Sloppy Joe. It's made with ground chicken. And I make a lot of it because it lasts him a few days. First, you don't have to make as big a meal as I do, but I make a lot. I use 2 pounds of ground chicken. You can use hamburger, you can use ground turkey, ground pork, whatever you want. Just ground chicken works for him. And this little gadget, I've been seeing people use these things. And I got one from Family Dollar and I love it. Instead of ordering one online where it costs a lot of money, just go to your local dollar store and find one. You want to brown your chicken until it's completely done. You've got to keep chopping it up. And chopping it. You can use electric skillet, which I like to do a lot. You can use your skillet on your stove. It don't matter what you cook this in. Again, you can use 1 pound and half of the ingredients I'm using, or 2 pounds or whatever. It takes a few minutes for this chicken to get done, but it don't take too bad. I have already saved some time here to cut up my stuff, except for my garlic. I just used 2 big spoons of minced garlic. I add that to it. You don't have to add garlic if you don't like it. I'm a garlic person. I love garlic. Then I add some red pepper. I have 1 red pepper already cut up. I always mix that in really good. I cut it up with my ninja knives here that I got for Christmas a couple years ago, and they are awesome, but they are so sharp. I've done cut myself, I don't know how many times with them, but I'd rather have a sharp knife than a dull one. And that ninja one is awesome. And my food processor for my onion. This is just 1 medium-sized onion cut in my processor, nice and fine. Again, you don't have to add this much. You can add less, you can add more. It's all in what you like. Let that cook up, let the onions cook up a little bit. Here's my green peppers that I chopped up. My little ninja knives there. Well, don't use a steak knife to cut up. It took me a while to figure this out. You want to use one of these big knives. They cut really good for vegetables. few minutes. Okay. That's cooked up quite nicely. I'll just put it down a few minutes. I've already opened up my cans. I always add a can of original Sloppy Joe mix. Again, I make a lot. It lasts several days, especially when you're iced in from an ice storm that we just had over the weekend. If you make a big meal, you only have to cook once. Just heat it up later. Always mix that in really good. You can add a can of tomatoes to it if you want. I do that too sometimes. I just don't have any right now. I'm just throwing different ideas out there to you. I add a can, which pretty much I already make it chunky, but I add a can of this marriage thick and chunky stuff. Obviously it was really chunky, but that's okay. Again, I always like to mix it up really good in between. You know, you can just stop at 2 cans, but the last time I went ahead and did 3, and it kept everything, you know, had a lot of nice of this Sloppy Joe sauce. I'm going to add bold. So I do original, this is me, thick and chunky, and bold. It gives it all a nice flavor. Each one's got a different flavor. Yes, and it's quite bubbly. I cut it down a little bit. As you can see, for what I make, you need a big skillet, so that's why I like this electric skillet here, because it can hold a lot. Okay. You don't have to, but I'm adding a McCormick Sloppy Joe seasoning mix, because I like the stuff to have a good seasoning to it. Mix that in really good. And again, you don't have to, but onion powder. I don't measure, so I'll put about that. A little bit of it's not a full cap, but less than a half a cap full. Well, garlic powder. I use that a lot. It also smells good. And I also don't need to, but I do. I add a little bit of minced onions, about that much. I don't measure nothing out, so don't ask me how much. Just to your desired flavor on here, and whether to make this so much, this is what I know. And it's probably a couple teaspoons to a half a tablespoon maybe. But as you can see, it looks really good. If you can smell this, it smells really good as well. always like, I like to let this simmer for a little bit because this is going to be for supper. It lets everything soak up all the flavors and all, and it's even better, as always, like soups and stuff. Always better the second day. But I'm going to grab a spoon real quick so I can try this. Okay. I guarantee you this is good. It's hot. Yeah. That's really good. Now you can put this on. Once it simmers, sits there and sets for a little bit, and gets better. Like I said, this is going to be for supper. You can put it over top of garlic bread. If you want to cook some garlic bread up and just set that on, put a spoonful of it on garlic bread. You can put it on your hamburger buns. Put it on anything. If you want to make some pasta, you can put this on top of some pasta. Again, it's just some different ideas for something that everybody's made for years and years. This just gives you a different idea on how to dress up a basic sloppy joe. But that's it. That's how I make my sloppy joe. Please, again, like and subscribe and hit that little bell for new notifications on more items that I will be making here in the near future. Thank you for watching and have a good day.